Very good afternoon to you from the West today. The body of an elderly man has been discovered in a car submerged in floodwater in Somerset. It happened in Martock, which was badly hit by Friday night's floods. The man, who was in his 80s, is thought to have drowned or died from hypothermia. The floodwater may have subsided, but hundreds of people in the West have been left counting the cost of torrential rain. More than 200 people in Somerset had their homes and businesses invaded by water. The fire service says that at the height of the crisis, it was taking an emergency call every 2 to 3 minutes. 40 millimetres of rain fell in just one night. As the clean-up continues, the good news is that no more rain is predicted today. We'll bring you a full forecast shortly. Anti-war campaigners are continuing their rooftop protest in South Gloucestershire. 3 protesters have camped out on the Raytheon office block in Frenchay, claiming the weapons manufacturer is breaking international law. They have a tent and heating and supplies are getting through, and they say they'll stay until the company leaves the area. Now, it seems more and more of us are using the internet to communicate. Blogging or writing an online diary is an increasingly popular way to get your views across. Well, our MPs are well aware of the power of the World Wide Web, as Bob Constantine reports.
The internet is not just the preserve of the young. Even the Prime Minister is on YouTube these days.
That's why I want to take this opportunity to hear your concerns and answer your questions. Submit your video question now on the Downing Street YouTube site.
Conservative leader David Cameron also has his own video website, aiming to reach a wider audience than through just the conventional media.
I think that point got through, and I think that's a big change taking place.
And our MPs are also waking up to the value of the internet, not just to promote their political views. Kerry McCarthy, Labour MP for Bristol East, is one of those who started their own online blog as a way of showing off a side of her personality the voters may not normally see.
It's only when you can start blogging about, the sort of music you like or the sort of things you do in the evenings, or just, you maybe get a bit more of a sense of humour coming across, that people actually realise that you're not an identikit MP and, you've got a bit more individuality about you. So I think that is quite important, yes.
But not all MPs are rushing to copy her example. In Wells, Conservative David Heathcote-Amery still prefers the old-fashioned method of face-to-face contact.
Let's not forget that this is a human business, and that personal contact, in my view, is more important than flooding the world with emails and text messages.
But experienced bloggers say the whole political process can benefit from the trend.
I think it helps MPs to connect with their voters, and it helps voters to get a real view of who the MPs are.
You all of a sudden kind of actually get a direct relationship with the people on the backbench, the MP that might be representing your constituency, and can kind of see how the things that you say to them can actually go on and influence what they do in Parliament.
It's yet another thing for MPs to think about. Bob Constantine for the West Today.
To football, then, it was a good weekend for Cheltenham Town and Bristol Rovers in League One. Cheltenham won at Leyton Orient, while Rovers tasted victory for the first time in 7 matches as they beat Tranmere 2-0. The second of the goals coming from Chris Lyons, who was playing with a badly cut face, picked up in last week's game at Millwall.
It was a good goal. He might have to wear that bandage every week. No, it was a great goal. He was very positive when he took the ball. He took it at pace, and their defence was a little bit flat-footed, and good pace and skill to get round the last defender, and a composed finish. So, yeah, pleased for him.
Before the weather, there's just time for a look at some of the stories we'll be covering next week on the West Tonight. Here's Lisa Aziz.
Hello there, thanks very much. Well, coming up on the West Tonight this week, we'll be monitoring the threatened postal strike in Bridgewater over Christmas. What areas will be hit and how much will the Christmas post be affected? A final decision will be taken by North Somerset Council on whether Portishead Pool will be allowed to stay open on Tuesday. We expect a big turnout by campaigners trying to save it. Another campaign coming to a head next week is the one to keep Ninehead Village Primary School open. Parents will hear on Wednesday whether they've won their battle or whether their kids will have to go to other schools a few miles away. And we meet the accountant who's given up his job to revive the family business as a mole catcher. Apparently he's very much in demand at the moment. That and plenty more ahead with me and Steve all next week on The West Tonight. Join us at 6.
Thanks very much. Now here's the weather. Beautiful morning this morning. What's the latest? Here's Alex.
ITV West weather, sponsored by Yo Valley Organic, a breath of fresh air from the country.
Hello again, good afternoon. This was the situation yesterday at Halton in Somerset. A familiar picture for many parts of the region, but the floodwaters are beginning to recede. As for the detail for this afternoon, well, it is going to be a dry day. Plenty of cloud out there, but there will be a few bright breaks through the course of the afternoon. Temperatures between 4 and 5 degrees Celsius. As for the situation this evening, we'll actually see that mist and fog reforming, so do go carefully if you are going to be out driving. Temperatures, for most part, staying above freezing, but in some countryside areas, it could dip below. That's it for now. I'll see you a bit later.
Sponsored by Yo Valley Organic.
Thanks very much indeed, Alex. We'll be back with the West Today again at the earlier time. Of course, more Star Wars on today. That'll be at 4 o'clock, hopefully without the extra noise of a mobile phone in the studio as well. Plus, we'll have, of course, all the sporting action as well as the latest news. That's at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.